I never told anyone this story. Every time I tried, people looked at me the way you look at someone who's lost it. So I stopped trying. But tonight feels different. Tonight, I need someone to know. Hello, my name is Tyler Dawson. I was 24 years old when it happened. Small town, Hollow Creek, Montana. The kind of place that doesn't show up unless you're already looking for it. It started with a box of old photographs. I worked for a property clean-out company back in 2021. Simple enough job. When someone died without family or abandoned a house, we'd go in and clear everything out before the property was sold. Most days were forgettable. Dusty furniture, broken appliances, old newspapers nobody read. Then we got assigned a farmhouse, 30 miles outside Hollow Creek. Belonged to an old man named Walter Briggs. Died alone. No family, no visitors. Nobody had set foot inside for months. The road leading there was dirt and gravel, lined with dead pine trees on both sides. Even in daylight, something about it felt wrong. Like that stretch of land had been quietly erased from the rest of the world. My coworker Jake drove. Neither of us talked much. The first thing I noticed when we arrived was the silence. No birds, no insects, just wind. And even that sounded far away, like it belonged somewhere else. Inside, the house looked untouched. Kitchen table still set. A coffee mug beside a newspaper from months ago. Like Walter had simply stepped outside one morning and never came back. I remember joking to Jake. Feels like the guy might walk through the door any second. He laughed. Neither of us smiled. Because every room carried the same feeling. Not haunted, not dramatic, just watched. Upstairs, beneath a bed in the back bedroom, I found a wooden chest. Lock was rusted. One hit with a crowbar and it gave. Inside, hundreds of Polaroid photographs. At first they seemed ordinary. Trees, roads, rooms, fields, random snapshots, the kind of thing old people collect. Then I started noticing the same man in every single one. Sometimes in the distance, sometimes half hidden behind a tree, sometimes just a silhouette in a doorway, always staring directly into the camera, and his face blurred, like the camera physically refused to focus on him. I told myself it was some kind of art project, an experiment, but the more I looked, the harder that explanation held. Then I found the last photograph, and my stomach dropped straight through the floor, because it showed the exact bedroom I was standing in. Same bed, same chest, same peeling wallpaper in the corner. Everything identical, except one thing. The man wasn't in the background anymore. He was standing directly behind the photographer, close enough to touch them, looking over their shoulder. I showed Jake. He studied it for a long moment, then asked when it was taken. I pointed to the timestamp. My hands were already shaking. The photo was dated 3 days before Walter Briggs died. We packed everything into boxes without saying much. Carried it all downstairs. On the way out, I passed the grandfather clock in the hallway. It had stopped, hands frozen at 3:17. I don't know why that number stuck with me. It just did. That night, I brought a few Polaroids home. I know, but something wouldn't let it go. I spread them across my apartment floor and went through them one by one. Same man, same blurred face, same hollow stare. Then I caught something I'd missed earlier. The locations weren't random. They formed a sequence. A road, then a forest, then a field, then a porch, then inside, then upstairs. Someone had been photographing this man getting closer. Step by step, picture by picture. At exactly 3:17 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Silence first, then static, then a voice, so quiet I almost missed it. He's behind you. The line went dead. I spun around. Empty apartment. Nothing. Just my own reflection in the dark window. I barely slept. And by morning I'd half convinced myself it was a prank. Someone messing with me. Then I looked at the photographs again. There was a new Polaroid sitting on top of the pile. One I had never seen before. It showed my apartment building, taken from across the street. Timestamp, 3:17 a.m. The exact moment I'd received the call. I called Jake immediately. He thought I was joking until I sent him the photo. Then he went quiet for a long moment. And then he said something that made my blood go cold. "Tyler, who's standing in your window?" I zoomed in, and there he was. Same man, same impossible face, standing inside my apartment, watching. I was out within 2 days. New city, new apartment, new job. Didn't tell anyone why. Just left. Told myself that was the end of it. I was wrong. 3 months passed without a single incident. Life started feeling normal again. Quiet. Ordinary. Then I checked my mailbox one evening. Inside was a Polaroid. No envelope. No note. Just a photograph. It showed me sleeping. In my new apartment. Taken from the foot of my bed. I went to the police. They investigated. Found nothing. No fingerprints. No security footage. No suspects. The officers suggested a stalker. But that didn't fit. Because of what I found when I started digging into Walter Briggs. Most records were ordinary. Property. Tax history. Nothing unusual. Then I found an old newspaper article. 40 years ago, a local photographer had disappeared near Hollow Creek. His camera was recovered. He wasn't. The article included a photo of him, and he looked exactly like the man in the Polaroids. Same face, same height, same clothes, same expression. I sat with that article for nearly an hour. Then I noticed his name, Ethan Moore, age 24, the exact same age I was when all of this started. I went back to the farmhouse, alone this time. The place was marked for demolition, empty, abandoned. But the upstairs bedroom felt different from the first visit. Heavier, like the air itself was waiting. I found another box beneath the floorboards. More Polaroids. But these weren't of Ethan Moore. They were of Walter Briggs. Hundreds of them, taken across decades. The same progression. The man getting closer, and closer, and closer, until the final photograph, Walter asleep in bed. The faceless man standing right beside him. Then I found one more, partially developed. The chemicals had faded at the edges, but the image was clear enough. It was me, standing in that exact room, holding that exact photograph. And directly behind me, the faceless man. The photo slipped from my hands, and footsteps started above me. Slow, deliberate, heavy. I was on the top floor. There was nobody else in that house. The footsteps stopped outside the bedroom door. 3 knocks. Slow. Measured. The door began to open. I ran. I didn't look back. I haven't gone back. Last year, a package arrived. No return address. Inside was a single Polaroid. Brand new. Crystal clear. The timestamp was dated for the following month. A date that hadn't happened yet. The photo showed a man sitting alone in a dark room, watching a screen. Face lit pale by the monitor. At first I thought it was me. Then I looked closer. It wasn't. It was whoever would eventually hear this story. It was you. And standing in the doorway behind you, closer than he has ever been in any photograph, was the faceless man. Written across the bottom, in handwriting I recognized from Walter's journal, were 4 words. The last thing Walter Briggs ever wrote. The warning he tried to leave behind. The one that came too late. Once you see him, he sees you. And if that photograph is right, he's already there. Somewhere behind you. Watching. Waiting. Getting closer. One picture at a time. I never believed people could simply disappear. Until I watched myself do it. Hello, my name is Ryan Carter. I was 24 years old. And this happened in a small, forgotten town called Pine Hollow, Montana, the kind of place where nothing ever happens. Until it did. It started on a freezing night in November. I was working the evening shift at a self-storage facility sitting miles outside town, alone beside a long stretch of empty highway. No houses, no businesses, just rows of rusting metal units swallowed by darkness and wind. My job was simple. Lock the gates at midnight. Watch the cameras. Call the police if anyone showed up who shouldn't. That was it. The owner trusted me because in 2 years, nothing had ever happened there. That was about to change. Around 10:30, the snow started falling heavy. The parking lot disappeared under a white blanket. Wind pressed against the office windows like something trying to get in. And for reasons I couldn't explain, I had this crawling feeling across the back of my neck. Like I was being watched. I checked the cameras. Empty rows. Same view I'd stared at 100 nights before. I exhaled and leaned back. Then something stopped me cold. A figure, standing at the far end of row 17. Completely still. I leaned forward. The image flickered. Gone. I told myself it was interference. Old cameras. Bad weather. I almost believed it. My stomach didn't. 30 minutes later, a loud bang rang out from somewhere outside. Metal against metal. I grabbed my flashlight and stepped into the cold. Snowflakes drifted through the beam as I moved toward row 17. That's when I saw them. Footprints. Fresh ones, pressed deep into the snow. A single set, moving toward the back fence. I followed them. They stopped. Not turned. Not faded out gradually. Just stopped. As if the person who made them had stepped off the earth entirely. There was no door nearby. No fence gap. No shadows deep enough to hide in. Just open snow and silence in the dark. Then I heard breathing. Right behind me. I spun around. Nothing. I ran. Back in the office, door locked, I pulled up the cameras again. The figure was back, standing directly outside the office window. I turned to look through the actual window. Nothing there. I looked back at the monitor. Still there. Motionless. Head slightly bowed, like it was waiting for something. My hand was shaking when I grabbed my phone and started recording the screen. The figure didn't move. Didn't breathe. Just stood there. Then, slowly, almost thoughtfully, its head tilted. Like it knew I was watching. The lights flickered. The monitor went black. 3 seconds of nothing. When the feed came back, it was gone. I called my manager. No answer. I called the sheriff's office. A deputy was 30 minutes out. I hung up and watched the clock. Midnight. 12:10. 12:15. Then the motion detector fired. Zone 17. I felt my chest tighten. The cameras switched automatically. Row 17 appeared on screen, empty. Then another alert came in. Zone 16. Zone 15. Zone 14. One after another, moving in a straight line toward the office. But the cameras showed nothing. No figure. No shadow. Nothing disturbing the snow. The alerts kept coming, steady as footsteps. Zone 10. Zone 8. Zone 6. Then they stopped. Complete silence. I sat there, barely breathing. 3 knocks came at the office door. Slow. Deliberate. Knock. 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 No vehicle outside. No headlights. No sound of footsteps approaching. I forced myself to look through the small door window. The porch was empty. Then a knock came from behind me. Inside the building. I turned around slowly. The office was a single room. Nowhere to hide. Nothing out of place. Except for what was on the monitor. A new camera feed had appeared. Camera 23. The facility had 22 cameras. The screen showed a narrow hallway. Concrete walls. Dim light. A single door at the far end, closed. I didn't recognize it. It wasn't anywhere in this building. I wasn't sure it was anywhere I'd ever been. I tried switching it off. The controls did nothing. Then a person appeared at the far end of the hallway. Walking toward the camera. It was me. Same jacket. Same face. Same everything. Walking fast, glancing behind himself, like something was following him. He reached the camera and stopped, and looked directly into the lens. His mouth moved. No audio, just words, slow and clear. I held my phone up and recorded it. Zoomed in on the playback. For words. Don't open the door. The office lights cut out. Something slammed into the outside wall. Then again, the whole building shuddered. I crouched behind the desk in the dark, arms over my head, completely useless. Then I heard a voice. My voice. From outside. Ryan. Calm. Patient. Like it had all the time in the world. Ryan, open the door. I can't fully explain what it feels like to hear your own voice coming from outside a building in the dark, asking to be let in. It doesn't feel supernatural at first. It feels wrong in a way that's almost worse. Intimate. Like a violation of something that should be impossible to violate. I didn't move. I didn't speak. The voice kept coming, steady and unhurried. Let me in. Then red and blue light swept through the windows. The voice stopped. Instantly, like a switch had been flipped. The deputy searched the whole property. Found nothing. No footprints near the door. No signs of forced entry. No evidence that anyone had been on the grounds at all. I showed him the footage. The hallway. Camera 23. The version of me mouthing those 4 words. He watched it twice without speaking. Then he asked the question I still haven't been able to shake. Ryan, why does this footage say it was recorded tomorrow? The timestamp read November 18th. The next day, he called it a camera malfunction. I nodded and said nothing. That night I drove home, sat in my car in the dark for a long time, and in the morning I called my manager and quit. I left Pine Hollow and didn't look back. Years passed. I got good at not thinking about it. I told myself it was exhaustion, stress, a mind doing strange things under pressure. I almost made myself believe it. Then the email arrived. No subject line, no sender address, just a video attachment. The hallway again. Same concrete walls, same dim light, same door at the end. But this time I was older in the footage. Exactly the age I am now. I watched myself look into the camera. Then I raised one hand and pointed, slowly, deliberately, at the door behind me. The door opened. Darkness on the other side. Pure and total. Something stepped out of it. Tall. Wrong proportions. My face on something that moved like it had never learned how bodies were supposed to work. The video cut out. One final frame remained on screen. A timestamp. Tomorrow's date. I've spent a long time trying to find a rational explanation for what happened that night in Pine Hollow. I've considered every angle. Equipment failure. Sleep deprivation. A prank elaborate enough to be nearly impossible. But I keep coming back to the same conclusion. That footage was never showing a ghost. It wasn't showing another dimension or some alternate version of reality. It was showing me the future. And if that's true, if any of this is real, then sometime tomorrow, I'm going to find that hallway. I'm going to be standing in front of that door. And I already know what's on the other side. I just don't know yet if I'll be strong enough to walk away. Some doors, once seen, are impossible to forget. And some things, once they have your face, already know how to find you.